Alright, welcome back to RPG Maker. Today we're going to learn how to create text events with your NPCs, your non-playable characters. And these are going to involve switches, two different types of switches. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to switch to event mode so we can see all the squares. So this is the town that we left off in last time that we made real quick. We're going to put somebody out here. So double click any square that you want to put somebody. You can name them NPC 1 or name them Jill or name them anything you want. And the first thing that we're going to do is pick an image. So there's actors you can pick. There's just random people. So I'm just going to go random person. Throw that image in there. This is their movement. So we want to do, most of the time in towns, movement's going to be random. If we click random, they'll just randomly walk around. If we click approach, they're going to come to you. If you click custom, then you get to set their route, which is incredibly difficult. If you needed to do it for a specific purpose, you could do it, but I've yet to find a purpose for that. I just set it to random. Speed, this determines how fast they walk. I'm going to put normal and normal. Priority is going to be same as characters. They're going to walk right along with us. And then the trigger button is going to be when we walk up to them, basically we're going to hit the action button and they're going to talk. And so how are they going to talk? We're going to go in here into the commands and we're going to do show text. Now you're going to want to make sure that you know exactly which character you're using if you're going to use a face. So I'm in people 1, so most of the time the game will come with faces. So if I go to people 1, that's him. See how it kind of looks like his sprite? That's the one you're going to use. So this is what he's going to say. Hey buddy, what can I help you with? And what do we always do? Preview. And that's it. We hit OK. So far I'm going to walk up to him. I'm going to hit the action button and that's going to pop up. Now I'm going to say something, so I'm going to double click on the face. I'm going to go to me. Have you seen Steven? Make it at the top. Preview. Okay. Show text. Back to people 1. Yes, he is inside of his house. Perfect. And that's it. So that's, if I walk up to him, he's going to say this. Let's make sure I'm in here. Let's just start our character right here real fast. All right. So it's going to go through and it's going to talk to him, but we haven't made a switch yet. So I'll show you what happens if you don't make a switch. As it loads. So new game. And we're just going to walk up and hopefully when we talk to him, and so he's moving around. He's randomly moving. So when I talk, he's going to turn towards me. Hey buddy, what can I help you with? Have you seen Steven? Yes, he is inside of his house. And then the conversation is going to end. Now if I walk up and ask him if I push the button, it's going to ask him the exact same question. Hey buddy, what can I help you with? Have you seen Steven? And it's going to do this forever in the game. And the reason being is there's no switch. If we double click back on this character, you're going to want to put in a switch, and this is what adds that little bit of realism to your game. We have control switches. This is where you can do a control switch that affects things later on. So for instance, if I only wanted that character to talk to me if I had something in my possession, like I went and found a certain sword or something, I would probably create a switch like this. But since it's just a generic conversation, I'm going to do a self switch, which doesn't affect anything else in the game. So control self switch A is on. So it's going to go through this whole conversation. It's going to turn your control switch A on, which means nothing until you click new event page. Make sure you go and click on the image and put him there again. Otherwise he will disappear completely. And then under self switch, you have to check it and click A. And so now it's going to go through this entire conversation. It's going to turn self switch A on, which is going to transfer it to this page. And then we're going to want him to still walk around, probably at normal speed. Apply. And so now if you go up and talk to him, nothing will happen because there's nothing here because you're on second page. So what you want to do is throw some more text in here. So if you talk to him again for a second time after you walk away, that's what's about to happen. So you can either say, good luck finding him, or did you find him, or something to that effect. So, good luck. We'll say that. Okay. And then even if you wanted to, I could add another self switch. B, new event page. I'm going to go get my actor again. He's number 1. Let's see. Self switch B is now activating this page. He's still going to move at normal speed. This time he's going to get agitated. Okay, you've already talked to him, you walked away, you go and talk to him again, you walked away. Now this is if you go talk to him a third time. Leave me alone. Preview. Perfect. Okay. Apply. So now we're going to go in. And every time we talk to him, we should get a completely different text box because of these switches. Let's try it. Hey buddy, what can I help you with? Seen Steven? Yes, he's inside of his house. Okay, cool. Walk away, walk back. Good luck. Leave me alone. And what you could do, I mean this, we stopped at 3, but you could keep going and keep creating switches and pages to where this whole, I mean, look how many tabs I can add here. So I can get up to 20. So that's a good way to create secrets in your game where if you talk to someone, and you could even make it seem that it's the same thing. So he says leave me alone here. If I add another switch, okay, and so now if this one is because C is on, I could do the exact same thing. I'm going to copy, I'm going to paste. And so he's going to say the exact same thing to you. So you might think, oh, that's the end of the loop. That's all he's going to say from here on out. Because he says this, and then it switches. And then he says good luck, and then it switches. And then he says leave me alone, and then it switches. And then he says leave me alone again. And then you think, oh, okay, well, it's done. He just said the same thing twice. We throw that on, and then switch D. And then all of a sudden, here, he's giving you $500. Change gold, $500. Show text. Here is $500. Go away. Okay. Apply. I'm going to delete the rest of these pages because they don't serve a purpose. All right. And so you're going to want to create another switch here, and I'll show you how to create an actual switch. So a normal one, you're going to want to name it so that you know what it is. I'm going to call it Stranger Gives Cash. Apply. Okay. Operation, it's going to turn on. And so on the new event page, make sure we go back and add our person. So on the new event page, it's going to get to this page when Stranger Gives Cash is turned on, because we basically ran out of self switches. So self switch moves us to the next page, self switch moves us to the next page, self switch moves us to the next page, self switch moves us to the next page. Then he gives us cash. And the reason you can't end it here is because if you talk to him over and over and over again and he keeps saying this, he's going to keep giving you gold. And this would be an endless loop, and that would be a total exploit in the game where you could just talk to this guy all day long and all of a sudden you would have $1 million. So you want to turn that switch off. And so it brings us to this one. And this will be pretty much what you're going to leave this event at. So what's going to be the last thing he says? Sigh. That's it. He's just over it. Let's see if it works. All right, let's try it out. Hey, buddy. So there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4. So people would think, oh, he's just going to say the same thing. I'm going to leave him alone. Here's $500. Sigh. What happens if I talk to him again? Sigh. Forever. Sigh. 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 If I go check out my menu in game, you can see at the bottom down here, I have $500 from him, so it worked. It gave no indication that the money actually went into your account. So what you can do, and this will be the last thing I show you for this video, is anytime somebody gives you weapons or money or something, I'm always going to show text. I'm always going to make it dim. You can put it anywhere, maybe put it in the middle, it doesn't matter. You received $500. I'm gonna show you what that looks like. And then you could even add a sound effect if you wanted to. So it's gonna say play sound effect. So you're just gonna find one that you like. Let's just pick bell. And it should work. Here we go. So you always want to let the characters know when you've given them something. And I would probably take that text box and move it after this statement because that was confusing. That's it. So this is another way to push your story forward. You're going to create, every town would probably have people walking around. It makes the game look a lot busier, a lot more polished, and sometimes people can say meaningful things. That's how you can start a side quest. I'll show you how to do that in a whole nother video using a conditional branch. Sometimes they just give useful information like, where can I save, or where's the weapon shop, or how do I get out of this town, or something like that. But use these characters to give information to your character on how to get to the next map, which remember that's the entire game, is you getting your characters from map to map.